under your feet earlier this evening, you definitely weren't the only one. So what happened exactly? News 10 ABC's Rachel Yankunis joins us live from Gloversville, where all the commotion was going on. Rachel?
Lydia, even though this earthquake was relatively weak, people in the shops and businesses here along Main Street felt that shaking. That's because the U.S. Geological Survey says the earthquake struck about a mile west of Gloversville. But a lot of people say that in addition to the shaking, they heard a loud boom, and they still don't know what that's from.
In one Greene County neighborhood, a whole lot of shaking going on. People describing loud booms followed by the ground rumbling.
And one homeowner noticing that a small sinkhole in her yard is getting bigger.
They felt the ground shake in Davidson County this morning. A small 2.6 magnitude earthquake shook Denton just after 4:30 this morning. No damages or injuries reported. Many of you took to social media to share your experience of that earth-shaking ground last night. Starla said it shook her house.
Thanks so much for joining us. A loud boom rattled homes just west of the city this morning. It was even strong enough to set off car alarms.
In Schuylkill County are feeling a bit rattled after something that felt like an explosion shook the floors and windows of their homes.
Tonight, people in Ore City taking to Facebook, trying to figure out what caused a loud boom that rattled houses in the area.
Several of you have reached out to us asking about some loud booms you heard this morning.
Yeah, people in Chesterfield, Dinwiddie, and Prince George say the activity has even shaken their homes.
Loud booms heard in El Dorado County could be coming from more than 200 miles away. Fox 40's Sansiri Tanso went up there to find out what all the fuss is about.
Many of you called our newsroom or sent us messages on our Facebook page saying that you heard it. People in Boyle and Mercer counties reported a loud boom that shook their homes last night. Emergency crews investigated but couldn't find any sign of an explosion.
Moving to news across the tri-states, parts of West Alabama experienced their fourth earthquake in 4 months yesterday. The U.S. Geological Survey says an earthquake hit near the community of Utah Friday afternoon. That is southwest of Tuscaloosa. The earthquake ranks 3.1 on the Richter scale, which is considered to be a minor earthquake.
Some thought it was a refinery blast, others an earthquake or a sonic boom. All were wrong. Lady Bosch was making Thanksgiving dinner in New Lenox.
All of a sudden there was a loud boom. My husband and I looked at each other. House shook like it was going to break in half. Some glass things jingled inside the house.
Larry was working at his computer in Monee.
All of a sudden there was a big loud explosion and the windows rattled. Looked outside, found nothing. I talked to many people. They had the same thing. They felt that it'd be a sound too.
Some people near it were jarred awake by the boom. An earthquake shook Schoharie County at 11:16 p.m. Saturday. The town of North Blenheim at the epicenter of the 3.0 magnitude trembler.
Did you hear it or feel it? A loud boom rocking Kentuckiana late last night. And now questions about whether that meteor was responsible. And this meteor, not the only one folks have been seeing recently. Our Shane Simmons has been hard at work getting answers. And Shane, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Rachel, that loud boom you're talking about caught a lot of people off guard last night. And this is some surveillance video captured in Cincinnati, Ohio.
As you would imagine, the 911 calls came in fast and furious after those quakes hit, and they all had the same thing.
911, what's your emergency?
We live in Spring Valley. We just heard a very, very loud explosion.
911, what is your emergency?
Our house shook like there was, I thought maybe something exploded in our garage.
A few hours after sunset, you likely saw a fireball light up the sky. It startled people in Saskatoon and throughout much of central and southern Saskatchewan, leaving many wondering what was going on.
It was also a lucky catch for another photographer in the southeastern corner of the province.
I had the camera set on the tripod, set it on the ground, pointed it at the Big Dipper, and hit the cable release, and like I said, 2 seconds later, boom.
Well, if you thought you felt the earth move beneath you in the early morning hours, you're not alone. A small earthquake, registering at 3.6, shook the area near Cornwall today just after midnight. The quake was reported 15 kilometers from Cornwall and was felt as far as northern New York, as well as in Montreal. No damage has been reported, but there are reports that residents heard a loud crack before the rumbling began, lasting around 20 minutes.
Witness News this morning, meteorologist TJ Del Santo was in the middle of his futurecast when he noticed something streaking across the Providence skyline and some real interest in social media, right, TJ?
That certainly was. Fireballs can be seen in the sky on occasion. They are usually most noticeable at night, but sometimes they are bright enough to be seen in broad daylight. It was probably a matter of luck than anything else that we caught a fireball live on television. Meanwhile, live pictures from the hurricane barrier in Providence. This happened Sunday morning at 8:17 a.m. while I was delivering the 7-day futurecast. I was showing the hurricane barrier cam when I noticed a streak of light just over the smokestack in the center of the screen.
3 days ago still has people in York County puzzled. That's because it left a rather large hole in the ground. You see it here. Tonight, no one seems to know for sure what caused it. Our Michael Clark is live in York tonight. Michael, I understand the mystery could be criminal.
And that's right, the sheriff's office launched a criminal investigation but can't say much else about what caused those explosions, and it has neighbors asking all sorts of questions in the area.
Mystery boom in Arcata, California, December 1st, 2015. Quote, big early morning boom on the west side of Arcata.
Calls regarding an explosion or gunshot of some kind. Most of the callers are calling from either Iverson or Villa. 1RP stated it may have been at 1777 Iverson.
Copy, Rob.
That was like a big, huge explosion. It shook my whole house. It shook the ground.
And it was all because of military exercises that were planned for some time. And those exercises are far from over.
And tonight, people in the affected area are angry. They want to know why they weren't alerted that something was going to shake their entire neighborhood. TV5's Andrew Keller live tonight in Genesee County asking those tough questions. Drew.
Sam, people on the east side say that the explosions came by surprise. And tonight, they're questioning why the city hall did not give them a heads up.
Mystery boom over Bryan, Ohio, December 11th, 2015. Mystery boom rattles Bryan. Thursday afternoon in Bryan, but nobody knows what it was. Mystery boom near Brainerd, Minnesota, November 27th, 2015. Quote, mystery boom shakes the Earwood neighborhood. Possible mystery boom in China mistaken for a sonic boom, November 27, 2015. This is my first article I found from China on a possible mystery boom. Quote, is it an explosion? An earthquake? Fighter jet breaking sound barrier over Chinese city startles residents. Possible mystery boom over the UK, November 15, 2015. Quote, Big Bang theories after loud noise heard in Hollywood in early hours of Sunday. A number of residents reported hearing what sounded like an explosion in the hometown of Gulface. Mystery boom over St. George, Utah, November 19, 2015. Quote, loud boom near county jail startles area residents. Something that sounded like a loud explosion was heard across the Hurricane Valley near the county jail Thursday evening.
We thought it was just a normal fire drill, but then they started taking us down this road.
But it wasn't a drill at the Estabrook Elementary School in Lexington. Shortly after 9 this morning, an underground noise and jolt prompted an evacuation.
We evacuated the building.
Police and fire responded to the school while students and staff were taken to Lexington High School. Emails and alerts were sent to parents.
We were notified immediately that the kids and the staff were all safe, so...
No reports of any smoke or suspicious smell. Parents are wondering what happened.
Could it be earthquake? It's like it's never heard of it.
Eating, actually, and all of a sudden we heard the big loud explosion. I didn't know what it was at first, but it was loud enough that we all stopped.
It was like a minor, like little, maybe a bump, something like that. It was kind of just like a, yeah, that motion really.
I was just sitting on my couch watching TV, and I did feel something. And like I said, it's an old house, and I thought maybe the furnace started or something, but I got a text and someone said, did you hear about the earthquake?
On the sidewalks, at the stores, at the bars, people have been talking about a loud sound they heard around 2:30 a.m. Saturday. Most have never heard anything like it before. Lifelong Petersburg resident Devon Bennett was asleep at home in Quinkett and Haida housing subdivision, and like many others, he was jolted awake.
Woke up from dead sleep to what sounded like a jet sitting on top of our house. The engines wound up all the way. First thought was a landslide of some sort, but there's no mountains around my house that would cause anything like that, and otherwise I have no idea.
So did you actually feel something?
Absolutely. You definitely feel the vibrations.
The tribal administration building was evacuated after that earthquake. Everything turned out to be okay. But it happened as the tribe is already dealing with that massive wildfire nearby. Taylor Vito reports from Nespelem tonight.
Tribal employees came out of this building you see behind me, many of them confused. Some thought there was an explosion nearby.
Running through my mind was something blew up first.
Well, what a way for Flodell Williams to start her Tuesday morning. She was sitting at her computer desk doing work when
we felt a little rumble and then a big boom, and my first reaction is to get up and get everybody out.
And that's just what happened. The tribal administration building was calmly evacuated.
Kind of shook the whole building and moved her. I felt it moved my feet anyway.
Of course, there was no damage to report. While it turned out to be an earthquake, some here tell me they initially didn't think it was that. They said it felt more like an explosion. Nearby, a pair of helipads, at least one associated with the North Star Fire Base Camp. Some thought one of the choppers might have crashed.
If it wasn't the plane crash or anything like that, my thoughts were, is it a volcano erupting?
But on that note, you can add this earthquake to the list of things keeping this small community on its toes. The rare earthquake comes as hundreds of firefighters are battling the massive North Star wildfire that's burned more than 200,000 acres.
Earthquake in central Virginia. This one happened while our morning crew was on the air for 12 News Today. Meteorologist Andrew Frieden fielded the reports as they came in. He's here to explain what happened.
It was a rough morning, and during our morning newscast here on NBC 12, we were tracking developments here as an earthquake report came in at 6:01, and this is where it happened. This is Dillwyn, which is way out west in Buckingham County, about as far west as our viewers are, and 7 miles away in a little rural community there off Boulevard Road. That's where the epicenter was. Now, the USGS says it was a magnitude 2.6, and that is kind of on the high end of the type that don't tend to do any damage. And in terms of being deep underground, it was a few miles below the surface, and this is it showing up. I showed people this on the air as it was coming in. This is a seismograph near the earthquake that happened a few years ago in Louisa. That seismograph was put into place after that big one. Very clearly that happened right about 6:01 this morning. As of now, we have not heard any reports of damage, although some folks did say some pictures fell off the walls.
Heard from many of you who felt shaking in parts of the St. Louis area this afternoon. Meteorologist Kristen Cornett has been looking into those reports and has the details on what happened. Kristen.
You know, it took a little bit of time for the U.S. Geological Survey to put out the report, so we were certainly doing a little speculating in the newsroom, but we did finally get that report, and here is what it says. It happened at 5:23 p.m., an earthquake of magnitude 2.5, 5 miles northwest of Imperial.
Well, the emails started coming in last night just after 5 o'clock.
Viewers wondering about a fireball they saw streak across the sky. Here's meteorologist Josh Judge with what we were able to find out about this.
Yeah, well, let's take a look at, first of all, what a fireball is. And
lots of people in the Southland reported seeing something that looked like a meteor streak across the sky tonight. There were tweets from all over, including Burbank, Redondo Beach, and Whittier, all the way from Ventura County to San Diego, and all described the same bright green flash. We also got several calls into our newsroom. No word on exactly what caused this show in the sky, but it certainly has people talking tonight.
It is a mystery that has been nagging people living in California's Motherlode. What is the source of those frequent loud booms that people are hearing?
We begin tonight with a scare on a popular beach in Rhode Island that sent sunbathers scrambling. A bomb squad rushed to the scene after a blast that witnesses say felt like a gas explosion or an earthquake.
And now to the terror threat for the 4th of July weekend. Police and FBI on high alert. The Washington Navy Yard put on lockdown today. SWAT teams rushed into the area. There are heightened concerns from New York to LA. Many police departments fully deployed, and one holiday celebration already canceled. Here's ABC's senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas.
A massive police response this morning at the Washington Navy Yard, the site of a tragic mass murder in 2013. SWAT teams, tactical units, and choppers swarming the scene. Ambulances at the ready for potential wounded. It turned out to be a false alarm. A 911 caller mistaking construction noise for a gunshot.
A loud boom? Well, I'll tell you from here, it was not thunder, but it was heard and felt all across the low country.
Yeah, it happened at around 11:45 this morning. You said that you certainly heard it. A lot of people did. Many are wondering if the sound was from a sonic boom, Seneca guns explosion, or perhaps something else. Well,
Jolt, courtesy of Mother Nature. This video is from the liquor station at Waterloo and Broadway in Edmond, and it's not the first time they've seen the shaking. Almost all of the nearly 15 earthquakes this week have been felt, heard, and feared.
And we always hear a loud boom and then the bottles rattle and you just wait to hear if something's going to break.
Now take a look from another camera angle. You can see the force of the quake shake the camera from side to side.
It seems to me they're getting more frequent and larger, like they're just building up to the big one.
There you go, YouTube. That could have been the mystery boom. Unless it was my neighbor again just shooting off a shotgun, but that sounded like it was reverberating. My neighbor lives just a couple hundred feet away from me. We live on the western side.
Oh shit!
Holy shit!
Oh shit!
What the fuck is that?
Mano, agora olha de novo, o bagulho voltou, velho. Olha
Olha
mano,
isso!
na moral, velho. Olha essa porra no céu, velho. Tá um bagulho absurdo, mano.
Fuck, dude!
Oh, I didn't fucking film that shit, man.
Ó, agora ele tá roxo.
Oh!
Agora ele tá roxo. Esse é o bagulho mais absurdo da minha vida, velho.
Que porra é essa, velho?
Mano, que vai acontecer? What the fuck is it doing?
What the fuck, velho? Mano, muita gente vai ver isso, não é possível. Olha o barulho que tá fazendo essa porra, velho.
Não, velho.
Olha o barulho que tá fazendo, mano.
Agora...
Que porra é essa, velho?
Mano, que vai acontecer? What the fuck is it doing?
What the fuck, velho? Mano, muita gente vai ver isso, não é possível. Olha o barulho que tá fazendo essa porra, velho.
Não, velho.
Hear a big bang. So I'll let you see it. I gotta send this tape. You hear that? Of course you heard it. Maybe I don't know if you could see the flash or not. Maybe we're getting invaded. There's the flash. I'll give her a few seconds. We don't know what it is. Pretty crazy. Anyway, this is our, we can't see. Doesn't look like it's focusing. This is our beautiful surroundings. Look at these. What a piece of HUD. Apartment buildings everywhere. This place is like a circus. Alright. Bye.
Did you hear that? Fuck. That's it. It's fucking scary. Keep hearing these booms. Oh my god. It's like the 8th one tonight. God, I hope that I got that on video or like on audio because that was really scary. I don't know what those are, but they don't sound like fireworks to me. There's huge bangs, booms, kind of scary. Well, yeah, all right, so I've been trying to get some audio of one of them, and I finally got it, I think. All right. Just so I know I'm not tripping. Okay, bye.
conclude, I believe there is more than one event causing the mystery booms. First is meteor-belied airburst, which would account for 20%. The phenomenon first started appearing in 2011. The same year there has been an increase of meteor explosions. Keep in mind, on average a meteor explosion only happens 3 to 5 times a year over the mainland U.S. according to the American Meteor Society. That has now increased to 10 or more. I have made a compilation video of reports going back to 2011. If you haven't seen my first compilation, please do so to get the big picture. Since 2011, I've documented an average of 6 possible mystery boom reports. Before 2011, there were hardly any reports. I have a way of filtering out man-made causes from fighter jets to temerity. But I would put a margin of error for possible reports I've miscategorized to 10, but that would still lead to an average 38 reports that are still unexplained. Second is shallow earthquakes within 5 kilometers depth of at least 3.0 magnitudes. Most shallow earthquakes do not cause a sonic boom even at the epicenter according to USGS. Many mystery booms are misreported as small quakes. I mainly count those 3.0 and below that cause a sonic boom to be a mystery boom. I compare with the earthquake swarms in Oklahoma and quakes in the West Coast. What's strange is the mystery booms started appearing the same year the swarms in Oklahoma increased, but it is only near the towns of Edmond, Guthrie and Stillwater that people report an explosion sound preceding the quakes, which averaged 3.0, but there have been other mystery booms near Tulsa that were not reported as an earthquake. I would say only 10 or so very shallow quakes above 3.5 may cause a boom at the epicenter, which would still leads us to an average of 28 reports unexplained. Finally, based on my own personal experience and research, I would conclude that UFOs, orbs of light, are to blame for the rest of the booms and the smaller mystery bangs, which could be far more numerous, but go unreported. I would say the reason for UFOs causing some of the booms and other USNs is to test us psychologically through the use of the internet for some long-term disclosure process. Keep in mind, the mystery booms flared up in the late 70s, which led to the Bell Island incident. This is all just my hypothesis, which is susceptible to change. One thing I've noticed is the mystery booms tend to flare up during the winter months when there is a cold spell, just as with the 2014 polar vortex that the media latched onto, which led to the phrase frost quakes to be used to explain away the mystery booms. But for last December and this month of January, the mystery booms are quiet, which leads me to think it has something to do with the timing of El Nino. As if the UFOs want us to believe frost quakes are the cause, despite the fact these mystery booms happen in the summer and in the south. But I predicted the mystery booms to start decreasing. We will just have to wait and see what happens for 2016. Let us know if you've heard these mystery booms and send us video evidence.
What the frick?